Good morning, class. Let's start off every day with our phrase, every day is a new day with a new start. Today we're going to be learning about how energy transfers or flows in a food web. So we're going to start today by saying our objective. Today's objective is students will be able to explain how energy moves from the sun to producers, consumers, and decomposers. Now I want you to take just a moment to think about that. And then you guys are going to say it on your own. All right, guys, you guys are gonna go ahead and say this on your own. Very beautiful job. Now, before we start, let's make sure your pencils are down and your eyes are on me, okay? All right, let's start with a question first. How does energy move from one living thing to another? Now, today we're going to answer that question with a turn and talk. So, get your elbow partner. And you guys are going to answer the question, how does energy move from one living thing to another? I want partner A to speak first, then partner B will speak, and then I'll have people come up and share, okay? So I want you to be seated. Your voice level should be between a 1 and a 2, and you should be actively having your conversation, okay? I'm going to give you 2 minutes. 2 minutes to answer the question. How does energy move from one living thing to another? And you'll start in 3, 2, 1. Timmy, I love how you're explaining your clear thoughts on how energy is moving. Good job. Jessica, good job on using the correct voice level when communicating to your partner. Good job. All right, guys, you have about 30 seconds left. Good job, guys. I love the conversation that you're having here. You're clearly communicating your thoughts. Very good job. All right, let's bring it back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, while Ms. Jones was walking around, I heard someone say energy starts with the sun. That is exactly correct. So we're going to now break all of this down for you together. 1, let's start with the sun. Everything does start in the sun, with the sun. The sun gives us energy, a lot of energy. And that energy gets transformed into our producer. So the main goal of your producer is to make food. So in our food web, the animals that eat the producer are called consumers. Consumers. They eat producers. So your question, well, Ms. Jones, what eats the consumer? It's a part of the life cycle. They are called decomposer. They are meant to break down our consumers. So kind of think of everything's flowing from the top down in this little pyramid here, this little model. The sun, which provides energy, your producer, what makes your food, your consumer, who eats your food, and your decomposer, who breaks down your food. Okay? So it is always important to remember that our sun will always be our main source of energy. It is our main source of energy, and that is for all living things. All living things, humans, animals, insects alike. Your sun is always going to be your main source of energy, okay? Now, let's do a think aloud. I'm thinking energy starts at the sun. It goes to our plant, and then it goes to our animal, right? What all of that beautiful thing is called is energy flow. So we can demonstrate that here. Your sun goes to your plant, which goes to your animal. All of this is called energy flow. It's the way that energy are passed down throughout these living things. That's important for our food web. Now we're going to think together, class. Now, let's do a quick check for understanding. On your whiteboards, I'm going to give you 1 minute. On your whiteboards, I'm going to give you 1 minute. I want you to tell me what is the main source of energy. What is the main source of energy before we move on? I want you at a voice level 0, and I know you're working when your pen is moving, or your expo marker, sorry. So again, the question is, what is the main source of energy? 1 minute, starting in 3, 2, 1. All right. If you can throw up your whiteboard, show me your whiteboards in 3, 2, 1. Very good job. Our main source of energy is in fact the sun. Now we're going to do a group think aloud here. Can an animal be both predator and prey? Can an animal be both predator and prey? If you think you know the answer, go ahead and put your hand up. All right, I got some very interesting hands, okay? A lot of hands, a lot of hands. I have some that are halfway in the air, you kind of know, some that are high up. That's okay. Very good job. Theo, do you mind answering the question? Very good job. Yes. It can eat and also be eaten. So an animal is both predator and prey. Now, we're gonna do another turn and talk, right? I want you to go ahead and grab your elbow partner again, and I want you to answer this question for me. Why is that important in a food web? Why is that important in a food web? I want you to take 30 seconds to think about that, and then we're going to talk with our elbow partner. 30 seconds to think about that, and then we're going to start with our elbow partner. All right, now go ahead and turn and talk with your elbow partner and answer, why is that important to a food web? Make sure we are having academic conversations. All right, let's bring it back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, food webs are connected system. Everything depends on something else. And so now we're going to create our own food webs, right? Your food webs must include the sun, a producer, a consumer, and a decomposer. So, the sun, a producer, a consumer, and a decomposer. Now let me give you an example of what that might look like. Over here is a food web. We have the sun, grass, rabbit, fox, and our decomposer. We're going to say our decomposer is a scavenger, right? So our sun is here, our grass is the producer, the rabbit is the consumer. We have a second consumer, which is a fox, and then we have our decomposer. We also have our arrows class. So what you're going to do is create your own food web. Create your own food web. Now, if you need any help, you can use any sentence stems or look at the model that is currently on this board that we just did together. Make sure you're working quietly, staying on task, and using your time wisely. You will have 15 minutes to create your food web. I like how you included an arrow here to tell me the direction. Make sure you check your direction. Energy should flow this way. Tina, good job identifying the producer. All right, guys, let's wrap it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, what I want you to do is turn and tell your partner, why is the sun important in a food web? Why is the sun important in a food web? All right, let's bring it back. The sun is important because it produces energy for all living things. All right, guys, you guys did a great job today. Today we learned that energy starts with the sun. It moves through producers and consumers, and decomposers recycle that matter. Now, what I want you to do is give me a thumbs up if you understand energy flow, in the middle and a thumbs down if you didn't get it. Don't worry, you're not in trouble. It's just going to help me help you. Okay. Very good job. Very good job. All right. Great job today, scientists. I hope you have a wonderful day.